I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine the Star Wars sequel trilogy by Disney and Lucasfilm, is that there is a great divide between fans. There's really no denying this. As much as Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy in the past tried to defend the actual Star Wars brand, that there was no backlash because of The Last Jedi, and so on and so forth. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the thing about Star Wars, where it stands right now, I will say, I really do believe it's in a very delicate position where it's almost like all the creators are walking on eggshells because of how the fans are going to react. And the fans really do have a say in the matter, I believe at least, and a lot of the fans are right as we speak right now. You know, a lot of things were done incorrectly with The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker and just the sequel trilogy in its entirety. I will agree that Rogue One, enjoyable movie, Solo a Star Wars story, an okay Star Wars movie at best. But when we look at these three Star Wars films that make up the sequel trilogy, this is exactly what Disney's legacy is with Star Wars, is that it divided fans. It created this great divide, and that now what they're trying to do is that they're trying to reunite the Star Wars fans around the world by introducing change. So a part of that change has all to do with the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, and even Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy and her power being reduced, taking away her creative control. Now, on top of all of this, what's really intriguing is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the Skywalker saga, they are moving on to their new Star Wars universe, also known as their new Star Wars Expanded Universe, where it's explained that many changes are being made over at Lucasfilm by the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, that is bringing many big changes to the Star Wars franchise to create a better future for the franchise moving forward. It's explained that, however, during and after the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to many of the creators for Episode 9, including Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy, where it's noted that when questioned about her film, Kennedy went on to reveal that she believes that there was no backlash with The Last Jedi when questioned about unsatisfied fans. However, it's noted that behind the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy has been very angry and frustrated with the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, and even Bob Iger, the previous CEO, for carrying out the plans of reducing Kathleen Kennedy's power to have creative control of future Star Wars movies and TV shows. It's explained that Kathleen Kennedy is having a meltdown from her reduced power over at Lucasfilm because of Disney taking her creative control away, and is even having a ton of frustration with the Star Wars fans for creating the backlash that led to this decision from Bob Iger and Bob Chapek. It's explained that Kennedy is angry at the voices of the fans who did not enjoy the sequel trilogy movies, and that this has created some form of tension over at Lucasfilm for Kathleen Kennedy and others. So the thing about Lucasfilm right now, we do know that they're really trying to figure out what in the world is the future of Star Wars, right? They already have a roadmap planned for, of course, Disney Plus and a handful of Star Wars movies. But looking out to the distant future, we're talking about how long can the Star Wars brand really survive, right? If you look at Marvel, it's been around for 10 plus years. The MCU has been around for a very, very long time. And it really was very successful. Sure, it had some movies that were a little off and a little unenjoyable, at least in my taste, but you can see that franchises like that are successful and are possible to be successful like that. So, Star Wars as a whole, the bigger picture, how far can it really go? That's exactly what Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to do right now. They want to go past just Disney Plus Star Wars TV shows and the planned 3 Star Wars movies in the works. They want to make this Star Wars brand pretty much last as long as it can, just like the MCU. Now, when we look at Kathleen Kennedy here, how her creative control was reduced and taken away completely from the previous CEO, Bob Iger, and even the new CEO, Bob Chapek, you know, the fact that it has caused such frustration within Kathleen Kennedy and creating this meltdown of her frustration with how the Star Wars fans are what really led to this change of her power. You can see exactly what's happening over at Lucasfilm and how there really is a lot of tension behind the scenes and how that really led to a lot of problems with some of the existing projects that have been changed on and off. Hence the Kenobi TV series, the production of that getting delayed, right? That was all Kathleen Kennedy's doing. Now, thankfully, no longer she has creative control over any of this. so that's good news. Nonetheless, when we look at everything Kathleen Kennedy related, it isn't always a positive thing. It's always a negative thing. And when we look at Kathleen Kennedy as a producer and as a president of Lucasfilm, in order for her to really succeed, you really have to love Star Wars. You have to be passionate about it, and I feel that's something that she really lacks. And for whoever Bob Chapek, replaces Kathleen Kennedy with, let's just hope that specific individual is going to have a passion for Star Wars, is going to love the Star Wars franchise. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear